All right, so get ready, because today we are going to dive deep into a system that we all rely on but rarely think about,
Yeah.
the human digestive system.
Absolutely.
You shared this educational pamphlet from the Center for Digestive Health and Nutrition.
Right.
And I have to say, even I was surprised by some of the things I learned.
Oh, yeah.
So today we're not just going to cover the basics, we're going to uncover the unexpected, the fascinating, the downright mind-blowing aspects of this incredible system.
It is true. Most people have no idea just how much is going on behind the scenes just to keep us alive and thriving.
Yeah, the pamphlet even calls it the unsung hero of the body.
Right.
It's always working, but rarely acknowledged.
Right.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, think about it. It's like a dedicated Clydesdale,
Uh-huh.
tirelessly plowing the fields day in and day out without complaint.
Right.
I mean, we don't have to consciously tell our stomach to churn or
Yeah.
our intestines to absorb nutrients. It just happens automatically.
And maybe that's why we take it for granted. But as the pamphlet says, your gut feeds you. And that's more profound than it seems at first glance.
Oh, absolutely. We often get so caught up in what we eat that we forget to consider the how and the why
Yeah.
of how our bodies actually extract those nutrients.
Right.
It's a carefully orchestrated process of breaking down complex molecules and then absorbing what's beneficial while keeping out
Right.
harmful substances out of the bloodstream.
The pamphlet uses this great example. Imagine taking a bite of a bacon cheeseburger.
Okay.
What happens to that bacon fat, the burger protein, and the carbs in the bun once they enter this incredible system?
So that delicious bacon fat is going to get broken down into smaller fatty acids.
Okay.
The protein in the burger is disassembled into amino acids,
Uh-huh.
and those carbs are transformed into glucose, the simple sugar that fuels our cells.
Right.
But here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
If these complex molecules simply entered our bloodstream without being properly broken down, it would be like trying to power your car with crude oil instead of refined gasoline
Right.
chaos.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. So our digestive system is basically this high-tech refinery, turning crude food into usable fuel.
That's a great way to think about it.
And this refinery is a 30-foot-long journey from mouth to, well,
Right.
what are the key stops along the way?
Well, it all starts in the mouth, where chewing and saliva begin the breakdown process. Then the food travels down the esophagus,
Okay.
a muscular tube that leads to the stomach.
And the stomach, that's where things get really interesting, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, we all know it's where the food gets churned up, but what's happening on like a molecular level?
Imagine a washing machine combined with a chemistry lab.
Go away.
That's the stomach.
Yeah.
It's a dynamic organ with powerful muscles that churn the food, mixing it with hydrochloric acid,
Wow.
an incredibly strong acid that could dissolve metal.
Seriously.
This, along with the enzyme pepsin, breaks down proteins. It's pretty incredible that our stomach lining can withstand this potent concoction.
That is incredible. So we've got mechanical churning and powerful chemicals breaking things down.
Right.
But the pamphlet also mentions that the stomach can expand dramatically from a small volume to hold up to 3 pints of food.
That's right. And it's not working alone.
Okay.
It has a dedicated support crew.
Oh, yeah.
The liver, pancreas, and gallbladder all playing crucial roles. The liver produces bile, which helps break down fats, kind of like dish soap cutting through grease. The gallbladder stores and concentrates that bile,
Right.
releasing it precisely when needed.
Wow. Yeah.
Meanwhile, the pancreas is producing a cocktail of enzymes that further break down carbs, proteins, and fats.
So it's a coordinated team effort.
It is.
Each organ contributing to this intricate breakdown process.
Uh-huh.
But where does all that broken down food, or chyme as the pamphlet calls it, go next?
It moves into the small intestine,
Okay.
a 20-foot-long marvel of efficiency.
Yeah, the pamphlet calls it the nutrient superhighway. And for good reason.
Absolutely.
It processes a staggering amount of material every day.
2 gallons to be exact.
Wow.
And it's not just moving things along, it's absorbing nutrients with incredible precision.
Right.
To maximize absorption, the small intestine has these microscopic finger-like projections called microvilli,
Okay.
which increase its surface area for absorption.
So it's like little tiny fingers
Basically.
reaching out.
Yeah. And get this, the total surface area of the small intestine is about the size of a tennis court.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a lot of surface area packed into our abdomen.
it is.
What exactly is going on in each section of the small intestine? The jejunum and the ileum.
Each section plays a specific role in breaking down and absorbing different nutrients. For instance, in the duodenum bile and pancreatic enzymes mix with the chyme initiating further breakdown.
No.
Then as the chyme travels through the jejunum and ileum,
Uh-huh.
the absorption of those vital nutrients takes place, ensuring our bodies get the fuel they need. And all of this is happening thanks to peristalsis,
Right.
wave-like muscle contractions that propel food along.
So it's just pushing everything through.
Exactly.
It's amazing how this all works so seamlessly without us even having to think about it.
It really is.
But what happens to the leftover material that isn't absorbed in the small intestine?
Well, that material, now mostly devoid of nutrients, moves into the colon,
Okay.
or large intestine,
Huh.
where water reclamation and waste processing take center stage.
Now, still like a water treatment plant, making sure we don't dehydrate and efficiently managing the waste products.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
The colon is responsible for absorbing excess water from the waste, turning it into solid stool.
Right.
But what's fascinating is that the colon is also home to a vast and complex ecosystem,
Okay.
a community of trillions of microorganisms known as the microbiome.
The microbiome. That's where things get really interesting.
It is.
This is a relatively new area of research, and scientists are making incredible discoveries about the role these bugs play in our health.
It's mind-blowing. We used to think of bacteria as mostly harmful,
Right.
but the bacteria in our gut are essential for our health.
Yeah.
They help us digest certain types of fiber,
Mm.
produce vitamins like K and B vitamins,
Yeah.
and even influence our immune system.
And the pamphlet hints that the microbiome is even more complex than we initially thought.
Absolutely. We're learning that the composition of the microbiome, meaning the types and amounts of different bacteria present,
Okay.
can vary greatly from person to person and can be influenced by factors like diet, lifestyle, and even genetics.
So everyone's got their own unique little world inside them.
Exactly.
This is all so fascinating. It
Yeah.
seems like we're only just scratching the surface of understanding the microbiome and its impact on our overall health.
We are.
But hold on. The pamphlet just mentioned something called the second brain.
Okay.
What's that all about?
Get ready to have your mind blown.
Oh, boy.
The enteric nervous system, or ENS. Okay.
Is a network of over 100 million nerve cells
Wow.
that line our digestive tract.
Okay.
It's so complex that it's often referred to as our second brain.
Wait, so our gut actually has its own nervous system.
It does. And what's even more incredible is that the ENS can operate independently of the brain,
Wow.
controlling digestion, motility, and even some aspects of our immune response in the gut. But here's the kicker. The ENS also communicates directly with our brain
What?
via the gut-brain axis,
Wow.
a complex network of nerves and biochemical signals.
So our gut is literally talking to our brain and vice versa.
Exactly. It's a two-way street.
That is incredible.
And this communication can influence everything from our mood and emotions to our appetite, and even our cognitive function. It really is a remarkable example of the interconnectedness of our bodies. We're only just beginning to understand the full implications of this gut-brain communication. But research suggests it plays a role in everything from stress and anxiety to how our bodies respond to certain medications. That's mind-blowing. It's like our gut has a say in how we experience the world around us.
That does make you wonder, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Okay.
Okay, so we've traced the journey of food from the mouth to the stomach, the small intestine, and finally the colon.
Right.
The pamphlet provides a pretty detailed description of the colon's anatomy. It sounds like a rather winding path for waste to travel through.
It is. It starts with the cecum, which is located in the lower right part of the abdomen. You might recognize this area because that's where the appendix is attached.
Ah, yes. The appendix. Some people say it serves no purpose. What's your take on that?
Well, for a long time, the appendix was considered a vestigial organ, a leftover from our evolutionary past. But recent research suggests it may actually play a role in our immune system, acting as a safe haven for beneficial bacteria.
So it might not be as useless as we once thought.
Exactly. From the cecum, waste travels upward along the right side of the abdomen through the ascending colon.
So it's moving against gravity. How does that work?
Good question. Peristalsis, those wave-like muscle contractions we talked about earlier, are responsible for propelling the waste upward. Then the waste makes a sharp turn at the hepatic flexure, becoming the transverse colon, which runs across the upper abdomen. From there, it turns downward at the splenic flexure, becoming the descending colon, traveling down the left side of the abdomen.
It's like a roller coaster for waste. What happens next?
The descending colon leads to the S-shaped sigmoid colon, which connects to the rectum and ultimately the anal canal, where waste is eliminated.
The pamphlet mentions that the sigmoid colon is where diverticulosis often occurs. Can you explain what that is?
Sure, diverticulosis is a condition where small pouches called diverticula form in the wall of the colon, most commonly in the sigmoid colon. These pouches can sometimes become inflamed or infected, leading to a painful condition called diverticulitis.
So it's definitely important to keep our colons healthy.
Yeah.
Speaking of colon health, the pamphlet emphasizes the importance of colonoscopy, calling it a lifesaver. Why is this procedure so crucial?
Colonoscopy allows doctors to visually examine the lining of the colon, looking for anything abnormal, including precancerous polyps. Polyps are small growths that can develop on the lining of the colon, and over time, some polyps can turn into colon cancer.
And colon cancer is a serious concern, right?
It is. Colorectal cancer is one of the most common cancers in the United States, and it can be deadly if not detected and treated early. Colonoscopy is the most effective way to detect and remove precancerous polyps, drastically reducing the risk of developing colon cancer.
So it's not just about screening, it's about prevention. The pamphlet even mentions that some people put off getting a colonoscopy because they're afraid of the procedure, but the potential benefits far outweigh any discomfort.
Absolutely. It's a relatively quick procedure, and most people experience minimal discomfort. Plus, the peace of mind that comes with knowing you're taking proactive steps to protect your health is priceless.
That's a great point. Early detection is key for so many health conditions, and colonoscopy is a powerful tool for catching potential problems before they become serious. But, while the pamphlet highlights the importance of colon health, I was surprised that it didn't delve deeper into the microbiome. We touched on it earlier, but it seems like such a crucial aspect of digestive health.
You're right, the microbiome is incredibly important. It's a dynamic ecosystem that plays a role in so many aspects of our health, from digestion and nutrient absorption to immune function and even mental health. And as we mentioned earlier, the composition of the microbiome can vary greatly from person to person and can be influenced by a variety of factors.
So what can we do to support a healthy microbiome?
That's a great question. Diet plays a huge role. Eating a diverse range of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains provides the fiber that our gut bacteria need to thrive. Fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, and sauerkraut are also great sources of probiotics, which are live beneficial bacteria that can help replenish the gut microbiome. And limiting processed foods, sugar, and unhealthy fats can also help create a more hospitable environment for beneficial bacteria to flourish.
So it's about feeding the good bacteria and starving the bad bacteria.
Exactly. We can also support our microbiome by managing stress levels, getting enough sleep, and even spending time in nature. All of these factors can influence the balance of bacteria in our gut.
It's amazing to think that something as simple as taking a walk in the woods could have a positive impact on our gut health.
It really highlights how interconnected our bodies are with the environment around us.
This whole discussion is making me realize how much power we have over our own digestive health. It's not just about what we eat, it's about the choices we make every day that can impact the delicate balance within our gut.
I completely agree. We often think of our digestive system as simply a food processing plant, but it's so much more than that. It's a complex and dynamic ecosystem that plays a vital role in our overall health and well-being.
The pamphlet ends with a powerful message, urging us to listen to our bodies. It says, if you are suddenly and unexpectedly aware of your digestive system, don't be embarrassed. And if you have persistent intestinal problems, consult your doctor. Why is this advice so important?
Our bodies are constantly sending us signals, and it's crucial that we pay attention to those signals, especially when it comes to our digestive health changes in bowel habits, abdominal pain, bloating, gas, heartburn, nausea. These can all be signs that something isn't quite right.
So it's like our gut is trying to communicate with us, telling us when something is off.
Exactly. And ignoring those signals can lead to more serious problems down the road. It's always better to err on the side of caution and seek medical advice if you have persistent digestive concerns.
I can't help but think about that common saying, trust your gut.
Mhm.
Is there more to that than just a feeling?
There might be. Remember, the enteric nervous system is constantly sending signals to the brain.
Right.
And some of those signals might manifest as intuition or gut feelings.
So our gut could be picking up on subtle cues that our conscious mind isn't even aware of.
Exactly. And then that information is relayed to the brain, potentially influencing our decisions and actions. Of course, this is still an area of active research, but it's a fascinating possibility.
It really makes you wonder just how much influence our gut has over our thoughts and behaviors.
It's quite intriguing, isn't it? We often think of the brain as the control center, but perhaps the gut plays a much bigger role than we realize. It's like having a secret advisor whispering in our ear.
This pamphlet has provided such a great overview of this intricate world within us.
It has.
From the moment we take a bite of food to the elimination of waste, It's a continuous process of breaking down, absorbing, and protecting.
And it all happens with incredible precision and efficiency.
Right.
It truly is a marvel of nature.
This deep dive has really highlighted that the digestive system is far from a passive player. It's an active participant in our overall health, from regulating our immune system to potentially influencing our mood and even our cognitive function.
I couldn't agree more. Taking care of our digestive system is an investment in our overall well-being, and as we've learned, there are many things we can do to support its health.
Like eating a balanced diet, managing stress, getting enough sleep, and even spending time in nature.
Exactly. Those lifestyle choices can have a profound impact on the delicate balance within our gut, fostering a thriving microbiome and supporting optimal digestive function.
This journey into the world within has been truly enlightening. We've gone from the basics of digestion to the mind-blowing concept of the second brain, and it's clear that there's still so much more to discover.
The field of digestive health is constantly evolving, and as researchers delve deeper into the intricacies of this complex system, we can expect even more groundbreaking discoveries in the years to come.
So to our listener, we encourage you to keep exploring this fascinating and essential part of yourself. Pay attention to the signals your body is sending you. Nourish your gut with healthy choices and embrace the power you have to influence your own digestive well-being.